All right, so we're going to be voting for the Game Awards 2023. I was going to do this when it first came out, but I think when it first came out, I had the stomach flu. I'm not sure if it was maybe a few days after that. I don't really remember. But anyway, let's fucking do this, man. I'm so excited to do this. Um, I'm very biased, of course. Final Fantasy 16 was my personal favorite game of this year. I just fucking adored almost every aspect of that game. 150 hours in it. It's the first game I've ever cared to platinum in my entire life. I've never cared to ever platinum a game. Never in my entire life. I just don't give a flying fuck about doing that. But Final Fantasy 16, I was like, I want to do that, bro. Like, I fucking love this game. It's like, it's the first time I've ever done that, and I just absolutely adore the game. So not seeing it in the Game of the Year hurts a little bit. But do I think it would have ever won the Game of the Year? Absolutely fucking not. If Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't win Game of the Year, this shit's fucking rigged, because this game absolutely deserves it and deserves a lot more awards you're going to see um, than just the Game of the Year award. Game direction, so outstanding creative vision and innovation, and yeah, Baldur's Gate once again. I mean, I think that's kind of obvious. This thing's gonna fucking sweep this year, man. Absolutely. I thought Spider-Man 2 was great, but it wasn't, anything really that insane. Best narrative. I feel like Cyberpunk's probably gonna win this one. I just can't see Baldur's Gate winning it, but maybe it will. This is weird though. This is like the first time I think I've ever seen an expansion in the Game Awards. It's usually we don't see expansions in these kind of categories. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't ever remember seeing anything like that. So it's a little odd to finally see these happening. But for me personally, it's Final Fantasy 16. I absolutely just adored the story of this game. Just the sheer amount of lore there is, and how accessible and easy it is to get to that lore, and learn about the world and the characters, and just the story in general was just so fucking incredible on so many levels, man. So for me, this goes with Final Fantasy 16. I really enjoyed the Spider-Man 2 story as well. I didn't. I feel like it wasn't as good as the first one, but I did enjoy the characters a lot more in the second one. So yeah, 16 for me though definitely takes that. I don't think it's gonna win it, but art direction. As far as art direction goes, I mean, honestly, I didn't play any of these games, so really feel like I have seen gameplay of all of them now, and I think the coolest looking one to me was Hi-Fi Rush. I just think it had such a unique and different art style compared to everything else. Okay. This right here. If Soken doesn't win this, that's fucking bullshit. Okay, that is absolute bullshit. So one, not only is the 16 soundtrack absolutely incredible. In my opinion, this is Soken's like magnum opus, I think is how you say it, man. Like this is like his best work ever. And I've been a big fan of him, with Final Fantasy 14, and like this soundtrack beats everything 14 had, and 14 already had a fucking incredible soundtrack. This absolutely deserves it. Also, I believe a lot of 16's soundtrack was, written or whatever the fuck when Soken was had cancer. He did this shit with cancer, bro. This guy is a legend, and I just think he absolutely deserves this over anybody else, man. Like he just deserves this. It's such a great soundtrack, and the conditions behind which he made the soundtrack, he just fucking deserves this. I've seen so many people who hate 16 who are like, yeah, this is well deserved. Soken is a master at making memorable music, and he just went all out, fucking ape shit with Final Fantasy 16. It's one of the best, probably, honestly, the best video game soundtrack I've ever heard in my entire life. If you haven't already heard it, go out and buy it, or it's also on SoundCloud too. Some guys like the full thing on SoundCloud. You can go listen to it there. It is absurd, and of course, if you play the game, it's going to mean a hell of a lot more to you. You're gonna enjoy the soundtrack a lot more if you just play the game and then come back and listen to it, because you'll kind of get that vibe, of like the places you were at. So yeah, this is the one I'm most passionate about. This is the category that I am like the most interested in, because I think Soken deserves this. And if he doesn't get it, I'm gonna be really, really fucking saddened. Um, really, just in the gaming community and the Game Awards, like just both of them, honestly. Audio design, so best in-game audio and sound design. I honestly have no fucking clue on this one. Really no idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually just skip this category. Perform. This one's actually so rough, dude. This one's so fucking rough, man. For me, it comes down to Ben Starr as Clive Rossfield, and then Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker. So Yuri, he did a great job in the first game, right? But I don't think he ever really, deserved best performance for it. But in Spider-Man 2, this man went all fucking out. And what I mean by that is like his performance as like the symbioted Peter Parker, It was just absolutely incredible. The screams that he did, where's Spider-Man? And when he jumped down with that guy, and like the very last mission where he had the symbiote and he just screamed, "Where?" Like that part was fucking sweet. And then when he was screaming as he was getting out of the cage Craven put him in, like it just seriously, man, Yuri, and that's just the beginning of it. Like there are so many other times, like towards the end of the game, there's a very sad scene. Actually, at the very end of the game, there's a sad scene that happens, and his like little cry of pain, like I really felt that. And when he was crying over Aunt May's death in that one flashback scene, where it's like it's within his mind. It was like so good, and Ben Starr also phenomenal. I think Ben Starr did a fucking incredible job. Um, and to me, I don't know. I think Ben Starr deserves it because he's one of like the rare scenarios where he went for like a realistic, um, like sound for when someone's dead, like about to die, and your voice is all cracking, and it really felt so realistic and not like the typical movie. Oh my God, no, please no, don't do this, Like his voice was cracking. It sounded realistic. To some people, it sounded like cringy or whatever, but to me, it like hit different because it sounded realistic, man. You're not gonna have that perfect like sad voice when you're seeing someone fucking die. You're gonna be in shock, and Ben Starr just nailed this perfectly throughout the whole game, and he just was so fantastic. So to me, I will be happy with either Ben Starr or Yuri here. I think Idris, I mean, he's just a good actor. I don't know if he really did anything over and beyond with Phantom Liberty, and I also never played Jedi Survivor, so I genuinely don't really know about that one. But to me, Ben Starr probably takes this. Yuri also just did fucking phenomenal, man. If I could vote for both of these guys, I totally would. But to me, Ben Starr probably takes the cake because of the fact that he was good throughout the entire game. He was exceptional in the entire game. This one, I don't really entirely know. I think Spider-Man 2 has phenomenal accessibility options. Like, seriously, I mean, you could be a fucking moron and you could play this game, dude. You could have like one limb on your entire body and you'll probably still find a way to fucking play this game. It's crazy. As far as Diablo 4 goes, I don't actually think it's really that good. I mean, is it? I don't know. But Spider-Man 2 did a great job in this aspect. But once again, I'm not knowledgeable in a lot of these games, so I'm not going to vote on this one because I just don't know really. You know what's funny? I'm voting for this, but I don't care to ever vote in the U.S. elections. Isn't that fucking hilarious? I just realized that. Like I'm putting in so much thought into this, and I'm just like I don't want to fucking vote in the U.S. election. It's fucking pointless. Games for Impact. Once again, no idea. I've never even heard of any of these games, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip this category. Best ongoing. To me, Cyberpunk is like not really the typical ongoing game. Just because they keep like updating it and they put out one expansion. To me, it's like I don't think this deserves it personally because what they did with the best ongoing part is they just fixed the fucking game. That's all they did. You know. So to me, this absolutely does not deserve it. And if I see this win it, is going to be like fucking horrible because Cyberpunk they brought it to the point that they showed basically that we all expected the game to be when it came out. So to me, this absolutely does not deserve it. I unironically would say Fortnite, because I never really was that hard into Fortnite until Chapter 4 began, in which I figured out you could start playing against bots, and that's the big thing for me. I don't like PvP games. I'm not like a huge PvP guy, so being able to play against AI in Fortnite is something I would just exclusively is something I always wanted to do. I love doing that in just video games like Battlefield 2042. So Fortnite does insane shit though, man. Like if you, I know it's kind of like the popular game and it's fun to hate on it or whatever, but like if you play the game or you keep up with it, like it does crazy shit, man, constantly. Like it's fucking insane. So to me, Fortnite takes that, bro. Like I genuinely think it just does like in terms of the ongoing aspect. So Destiny 2, I actually think before the layoffs, they had decent community support. Now the community loves to complain, and I love to complain that they don't talk enough or whatever. But if you take a look at the entire gaming industry and you compare Bungie to the other companies, they were fantastic. Just the fact alone that we got weekly blogs was a huge thing. And they had the Destiny 2 community team account, and they had the community managers before that communicating with people. To me, Destiny 2 had such a phenomenal one before that. And unfortunately, the layoffs came, I think, just only like a few weeks before the Game Awards pop up. So this is very unfortunate timing to see this in here because now I don't think Destiny 2 deserves that. I don't even think it's anything close because the whole fucking team's gone. Like practically most of the community managers are fucking out. So these guys absolutely do not deserve it. As far as the other ones go, I have no idea. I've heard 14's been getting worse recently, but not entirely sure about that. It's probably going to go to Baldur's Gate, honestly. I could totally see that happening. But, we'll see. I'm not going to vote in this one just because I'm not entirely sure about that. Independent game, I'm not much of an indie gamer, to be honest with you, so I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. Once again, same logic here. Mobile game, I'm not a mobile gamer either. I don't even care. I love the fact that we have like one category. They're just like, throw it in because, just get something in there for the mobile gamers, even though they're probably not going to watch this shit. VR, once again, done not much of a VR guy. Action game. So to me, I've seen all of these games action, and to me, Armored Core takes the cake. Like, have you seen the action in that game, bro? Have you seen the combat? That shit looks crazy. I never played it, but like I've seen all these games, like I said. The games that I had played here is Dead Island 2 and Remnant 2. And if I were to vote between these two, I'd probably put Dead Island 2 in there because Remnant 2, it feels good, right? But it's not like it's not been done before. There's some things about the action I don't like. So Armored Core to me always just seemed the craziest. So I'm gonna go with Armored Core here. That was like crazy looking, man. If it wasn't for like the game being super hard or whatever, I probably would have got it. It's different from like Elden Ring because Elden Ring you had a bunch of shit you could cheese it with. I didn't know about Armored Core if you could really cheese it that hard, but action adventure. So traversal and combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Um, yeah, dude, Spider-Man 2 like takes the cake here, bro. I've seen all these games once again, obviously to different aspects, right? But I think either Zelda or Spider-Man 2 deserves this. But oh, dude, Zelda though, with that like building shit they have, with the crazy shit that I saw, you could do with that like building crap. I forget what it's called, but you could like build like practically fucking anything to move. Like it's insane. So I don't know. I'm gonna go Spider-Man 2 on this, but I do feel I would be happy seeing Zelda in it because that system alone is like fucking crazy. RPG. So right, this is the role-playing aspect of this. There is absolutely no competition here. Baldur's Gate 3 takes the cake. I'm honestly shocked 16 is in this category. 16 had very light RPG elements. It did have a very extensive ability tree or ability section, right? But in terms of the gear and like a talent tree or whatever, 16 was very lackluster in this aspect. Baldur's Gate 3 is really a hardcore RPG in terms of like the amount of role-playing game options it provides, and that's what I love about it. I feel like I could be anybody I want to be in Baldur's Gate 3. Like I feel like I can fulfill any fantasy in this game, and that to me is just phenomenal. And yeah, I really, really like this. I also love Starfield. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a big fan of Starfield, but Baldur's Gate to me takes the fucking cake here. I gotta play more Baldur's Gate, man. I've just been caught up with other games this year. Fighting game, not much of a fighting gamer, honestly, so I don't really care. Family game, once again, don't really give a fuck. Sim strategy, I have a feeling that's probably gonna be the end for me when it comes to the categories that I know of. Multiplayer, um, I would probably either put Diablo or Baldur's Gate in here. I think Diablo is so much fun as when you're playing multiplayer, but Baldur's Gate once again I think is probably going to take the cake. That game is so much fun in like a co-op setting, from what I've seen. Best adaptation. To be honest, I think all of these suck. I think every single one of these looked fucking awful. Besides The Last of Us, but even then, I wasn't really the biggest fan of The Last of Us, so I'm just gonna skip that. Anticipated game. I didn't even. Oh yeah, Hades 2. I forgot about that. Don't they have like a new protagonist in that? I kind of forget. But once again, I'm not going to vote here because I'm not entirely sure on this, but I am looking forward to 7 Rebirth, and then I'm looking forward to Star Wars Outlaws and seeing how that is. Now, unfortunately, it's made by Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment, both companies being companies I really do not like. So, um, yeah, you know what was kind of interesting about this is I don't recognize anybody in here besides Quackity. And if you've been around on the channel, you're gonna know why I recognize them. I'm not gonna mention why, but just figured I'd throw in that little Easter egg. Esports games, not I think the next categories are like esports stuff. So let me actually go back to exit voting, and then I'll look at the rest of the shit here because I feel like the rest of it's shit I don't care about. Yeah, so that's it, man. That's the shit I voted for. Um, I don't know. I feel like this is always fun to do every year. It's a fun time in gaming. The Game Awards is always really fun to watch it because there's just new game reveals and shit like that. And the rumor is that we're going to be getting a GTA 6 reveal at the Game Awards this year, which if so is a absolutely massive win for Jeff Keighley. Like that dude has got to be ecstatic that that would be revealed at his show. Like that would be insane if it was. I don't know, man. I don't know what to believe at this point, obviously, because for years upon years we've just heard rumors about GTA 6 being revealed then, and especially this year we've heard that a lot this year. So I don't know what to believe, but I think it would be kind of cool if we did see it at the Game Awards. I would love it. And you know what, man? The Game Awards is just a couple weeks away. I just kind of realized that. Like we're only like 2 or 3 weeks away from getting into this shit. So yeah, make sure to vote, man. If you want, if you don't want to, don't go for it. I'm not gonna be like those fucking dipshits in the U.S. elections who try and force you to vote, even though you should only really vote in areas that you're actually, you should vote if you're educated. I wouldn't say anybody should fucking vote. You shouldn't have the kid with like hardcore autism down the street go and vote, because I doubt he's gonna care about fucking politics. So yeah, and I can say that I have autism, by the way, so I could say that shit. But yeah, that's so fucked up. All right, that's it. Peace.